YouTube, Professor Kadra here. Welcome to Maintenance 101, daily or per bowl cleaning. One of the easiest ways to keep a pipe smoking well in the long term is also one of the simplest, and that's in your basic routine cleaning. You don't need to deep clean a pipe after every smoke. Don't get worried about that. It's not nearly that complicated. But small maintenance habits are going to make a huge difference over time. They're going to help reduce moisture, prevent souring, improve airflow, and extend the life of your pipe, which, when you're spending your hard-earned money on a pipe, that's something you're going to be interested in. So in this course, we're going to be covering the basic daily or pre-bowl cleaning routine that most pipe smokers use. Most important is, before doing any cleaning, let the pipe cool down. Hot pipes are more vulnerable to damage, especially around the stem, mortise, and tenon. Trying to force the stem apart while the pipe is hot, it's a very common mistake. Smoke first, clean second. It's almost like two separate activities.
When you say let it cool down, I mean, obviously we can tell if it's hot or cool, but roughly how long?
I don't know if there's a good rule of thumb. Maybe 30 minutes would probably be a fair amount of time. But I'd say when it's cool to the touch,
Yeah.
that would be about
Yeah, it feels
the time.
like it has a pipe that hasn't just been smoked,
Yep,
or
yep.
been smoked at all.
And the reason for that is that the mortise and tenon are made out of different materials, so they're going to expand at different rates,
Right.
and you run the risk of permanently affecting them, or
Yeah, they might
or
not
worse,
fit.
even cracking. But like,
Yeah.
you could ruin the fitting, or worse, crack it. So that's why you let the pipe cool down first. Once it's cooled, you're going to gently empty the ash out. Many pipe smokers will use a cork knocker, soft surface. You're going to want to avoid aggressively banging the pipe against hard surfaces. You know, that's how you can chip the rim, crack the shank. Just
Yeah.
generally want to avoid that. After you empty the ash, it's up to you. I don't know if it's necessary, but you empty the ash, you clean out the dottle. Dottle is what's left behind after the smoke that's not turned into ash. You could run a pipe cleaner bent
That's
around
what I
around
usually
there.
do because I have them. I
Yep.
use my nail to scoop it out, anything that, and I run the pipe cleaner.
Yep,
know?
exactly. You're not trying to strip the chamber completely clean. In briar pipes, a thin carbon cake is actually desirable, so you're really not trying to get everything out of here.
Yeah.
You want to kind of leave some a little bit behind. Meerschaum and clay pipes, though, the cake buildup is avoided, so you would clean it a bit more thoroughly. And the single most important thing you can probably do is running a pipe cleaner through the stem, the airway, the shank, and into the bowl. Removes moisture, residue, and condensation buildup. Sometimes one pipe cleaner is enough. Sometimes you need to go through several. If it comes out extremely wet or dirty, the pipe probably benefited from that cleaning.
Yeah, I'll find that, like, maybe I'll smoke a pipe and I'm waiting for it to cool down. Don't get a chance to clean it for 2 or 3 days sometimes. And then I go back to smoke it and I'll clean it beforehand. And it's still wet, it's still, I'll run
Yep.
the pipe cleaner through and there's still,
Yeah, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it 30 minutes after you smoke. You can do it, the next
Yeah.
day just fine. Some smokers will also run a pipe cleaner through the stem during a smoke. If moisture builds up, it's perfectly normal. Cleaner can often fix gurgling,
Yep.
the wet smoke, or restricted airflow.
yeah,
You can usually fix that right
big
away.
time. If it's wet, run it through run it through the stem while you're smoking
Yeah.
without taking the stem off.
And that's about it for the actual maintenance kind of stuff. Then there's the concept of rest. Pipes benefiting from rest, especially briars.
Yeah.
Repeated smoking the same pipe over and over without drying time can lead to excess moisture, a sour taste that the pipe will have, harsher smoking characteristics. A lot of pipe smokers will rotate their briars throughout the week to avoid that.
And one of the things we talked about, I remember when I first got into pipe smoking, I went on Reddit. They have a pipe tobacco subreddit, and you're reading things about, some people feel that this is extremely important. They'll only smoke, they'll have a Monday pipe, a Tuesday, whatever it may be. I think a lot of people think 24 hours is a good general rule.
Yeah.
But we were talking earlier, like, a lot of times I think back in the day, people bought one pipe, smoked it for a few years until it was time to get a new pipe, and they smoked it every day. And the pipes can handle just fine. So I think it's being aware of the heat and letting it cool down is important, and maybe letting it dry out like we talked about. But it doesn't have to be a hard and fast rule. Like,
No,
people are
it
going to
doesn't.
disagree on this, but
Yeah,
ultimately,
yeah.
we've proven it. Your pipes can withstand it. They're not
Yeah.
going to. You're not going to ruin your pipe.
Yeah. And these rules are for Briar. Different materials require slightly different
So like
approaches.
meerschaum, right?
Your meerschaum is going to be cleaned more gently, but you're going to be cleaning it more.
Frequently,
I don't know about more frequently, but you're going to
more
care
thoroughly.
more,
You
more
want to
thoroughly,
keep
more
the- yep.
thoroughly. Yeah. is
And
the
also
word.
you can. I think we mentioned it in a previous video, but you can smoke the meerschaums pretty much. It doesn't need to rest or cool down. It gets
Right.
dry and cool.
It doesn't need it. It can go back to back. Corn cobs are very forgiving, but they'll still benefit from a routine cleaner use and some drying time. But they're a lot more forgiving even. It's important not to obsess over perfection. Pipes are tools meant to be smoked. A little discoloration, darkening, wear, it's normal. It's part of the pipe story. Routine maintenance matters, but you don't need to go through a full sterilization process with every single bowl. Some simple, consistent care is usually enough.
And I think that's important too, because I think a lot of people I know, again, at first it's like you had this whole routine. You got to smoke the pipe. You don't want it to be something that bars you from being able to just do it casually when you have the time. If you have 15
Right.
minutes, you don't have to smoke the whole bowl even. So you can pack a smaller bowl, or you can, smoke half of it and smoke the rest the next day or later
Yep.
that night,
Yep, and daily maintenance is really about making sure that the airflow and moisture control and the longevity of your pipe is preserved.
Yep.
It's going to give you a better experience. Clean, dry pipe almost always smokes better than a neglected one. Good news is basic maintenance only takes, like you said, a minute or two. It's not the kind of stuff that's going to preclude you from having those quick smoking sessions when you have the time, and it becomes habit.
Yep.
Once you learn it, it's just part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks for watching.